What's going on, guys? Treasured up here with the Black R6. For today's video, Fender Eliminator. Let's go. Let's get that ugly thing out of there. All right, let's get right to it. Step number 1, remove the license plate. Step number 2, remove the rider and passenger seat. It's gonna get in the way. These need to go. Step number 3, we're gonna go ahead and remove these 2 bolts right here, which actually holds the tool. So I guess it's the bracket that holds the 2 Allen keys. And then we're also going to remove the 2 bolts right over here, which actually holds the seat on. Just gives us more access when we need to get to the wiring. Grab your size 5 Allen key and take these 4 bolts out. All right, brackets out, put that aside. Now once you have that out, you can actually access this. So now that the bolts are out, there's a little grommet right here. All you gotta do is pull on that. It's just up on this, so you can actually pull that right off. And next, we're actually just gonna remove these 2 clips. This one where my thumb is, and the white one, and then we can take this bracket all the way out. Fairly simple with pushing the back of the pin, and then push it out of the bracket. That's it. And 2, and then this bracket gets put aside. Step number 4, we're gonna go ahead and remove this plastic centerpiece right over here. It's got the 4 push pins. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the top one up a little bit here. And then as you do that, you can remove bottom lower ones as well. Step number 5, now that we have access to all the wiring back here, we're going to go ahead and locate the bullet connectors that come off the rear over here, which is right over here. And we're gonna go ahead and remove those. So that's for our license plate light, which that goes down to the bottom. So that's unclipped. Step number 6, we're gonna locate obviously our 2 plugs, the white and black, which came off our tool holder. And now we're gonna go ahead and unclip this guy as well. Push down on the clip and then it just pops out. Same with the black one, push down and then pops out. They are free from the harness. All right, step number 7, we're gonna go ahead and remove those 4 bolts right over there. This will release the fender and we can take it all out along with the wires. Grab my T-handle, it's a size 5. All right, now once you undo the 3 and you're on the 4th one, you wanna hold the fender as you're doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and take the tool away, hold on to it, take out that last screw. Then we're gonna slowly pull the entire fender along with the wirings connected to the signals and the license plate light out of the hole. And just like that, it is out. Time to move on. Step number 9, now that we have the fender completely removed from the back, as you can see, there is nothing there. I went ahead and actually cleaned this area up because we need it nice and clean, because now we're going to go ahead and put in the closeout that we have to cover up that back spot. This portion right here comes with the kit from TST. I've gone ahead and put this 1 screw in already there with the backside nut, and that's because we won't be running a license plate light through that hole. We're gonna grab our 2 bolts right over here. They're gonna go into those 2 holes. And on the top end, we're gonna use this guy that we took off from the OEM bracket, just one of them. We're gonna use that, and then we're gonna use these 2 locking nuts along with those guys. Let's go ahead and put that in now. Here's the closeout bracket, which goes underneath like so. So we're gonna grab our bolts. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one of them for now, just do one at a time. Coming from underneath, gonna cover up that hole nicely there. We're gonna go ahead and put the bracket that was there from OEM. Put that bracket on like so, and then the nut will come on top of it. Get that nut started there, hand tight for now. And I'll grab the other bolt with the other locking nut. So I'm gonna go ahead and hold the bolt underneath with the T-handle, and on top I'm gonna go around and tighten this down with our size 10 socket. Let's go, that's 1, and then we'll do this next one as well. And that's how this closeout will look. The 2 nuts right there, with the middle one, as you can see, coming through the hole, and underneath you would see it like so. 2 bolts there that get the nuts, and then that guy is just the one that blocks that hole from, obviously, in case you wanted to run the line, but in this case, we're not. Those 2 get tightened down, and that's the way the blockout looks. Okay, step number 10. Now that we have the closeout put into the bike, we're gonna now move down to the bottom of the tail section here, and we're gonna go ahead and remove these 3 push pins right here. These are push pins that have the Phillips head, and it's just a 1/4 turn, and then it drops down, and then we can take those guys out. Let's go ahead and do that now. Just gonna grab my Phillips head socket, 1/4 turn, pops out. 1/4 turn, the middle pops out, and then once the middle is popped out, we can go ahead and wiggle them free. Step number 11, we're gonna go ahead and remove this silver bracket. It's got 6 bolts. Let's go ahead and remove this guy now. Step number 12, we're gonna go ahead and remove the battery. Now I'm gonna completely admit to this. When I usually work with electrical anywhere on the bike, I usually remove the battery, but this time I just seem to have not. So I'm gonna obviously own up to that, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove the battery now before I start doing anything else. So that's usually my first step, especially when you're unplugging things here and there, is to remove the battery just so you're not having any current flowing through anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the battery. As I do that, I'm actually gonna put it to charge. There we go, remove that. I'm also gonna remove the little cushion that's underneath it. Step number 13, we're gonna go ahead and remove the ECU. We're gonna go ahead and pop this up here. There we go, pop that up. Remove the ECU, and now that we've got it removed, we can go ahead and unclip clips. There's one, and there's two. We'll take the ECU and put it aside. Step number 14, because I want more access to the area over here, I'm gonna go ahead and slip off the wheelie box. Flathead screwdriver, just reach in and hit that clip. And as you unclip that, this thing should come undone. There we go. So that's the relay box. Okay, step number 15, because I removed the relay box, we're gonna just move it out of the way a tiny bit here. We're gonna get access to two push pins right over here that we need to remove. Just gonna grab a screwdriver, and these are the quarter turn push pins, and we'll take these guys out as well. Step number 16, we're gonna go ahead and move up to the tip of our sensor, which is right over here. And there's two more push pins located right beside it. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those as well. All right, step number 17, because we want to get more access to the bottom tray right here, there's a 5mm bolt right there, which needs to come out. So let's go ahead and do that guy now. When you do take out this bolt, just be careful because there is a washer on the underneath, so just hold on to it. So now that we took out that 5mm bolt right there, there's enough wiggle room with this tray right here to get underneath. So we can go ahead and put these two screws in here and here, and we can start mounting our bracket. All right, step number 18. These are the two bolts that we're gonna go ahead and put in with the washer. We're gonna go ahead and lift up that tray and sneak these into those two holes. Like so, as you can see, it's like that. Very limited space. I will have to gain access to that area one more time with an Allen key to hold the top as we mount the bottom. Okay, step number 19. We're gonna go ahead and grab our mounting points here. And there's two of them, left and right. It doesn't really matter which way you do it. However, when you are installing it, you want to make sure that the bulge or the little curvature is facing the rear of the bike. So the straight end facing towards the spring. Now I can reach up with one hand underneath the plastic, and now with this hand, I'm gonna go ahead and screw it on. I'm going to screw it on until I can feel that it's getting tight, a little bit more. Okay, so at that point, I'm going to leave it the way it is. It's just hand tight for now. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the other one. Now, I'm not going to tighten down anything yet. Some of the instructions say to tighten everything down. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to go ahead and mount the bracket, and then we're going to make adjustments to make sure that everything is where it needs to be. All right, guys, step number 20. We're going to go ahead and grab these guys right over here, which then mount onto the bracket. This is technically a bracket holder because the license plate bracket goes onto these. So let's go ahead and mount this up first. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our left side along with our 4mm head Allen. We're gonna go ahead and put this side on first. Just gonna do a hand tight for now, just to get it on there. And now step 21, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the license plate bracket along with the countersunk screw right here. I'm gonna just put it on hand tight, so I can get the configuration set first. Now that I can see the configuration of it, I'm gonna line it up a tiny bit. I'm gonna just tighten it just a little bit so it's not moving around so much. Step 22 will be to mount the license plate like so, like that, using the bottom bolt. So let's go ahead and put the license plate on, and then we'll make some final adjustments. So as you can see now, the license plate is on, and that's the positioning that I do want it on. However, it's actually just touching the top, which I don't want. So I'm actually gonna release it a tiny bit and give it a tiny bit of space in between the plastic tail section and the license plate. So I'm gonna go ahead and reconfigure this, tighten them down in the position that I want to, and I'll show you guys what I have in the end. All right, step 23. Now that everything is tight, I'm gonna go ahead and actually just play around with the bracket. All right, so there's an actual gap between the plastic and the plate, just to give it some wiggle room. Okay, that's the position I'm gonna leave it in. That looks nice and sleek. I would actually enjoy it if it was a little bit closer to the tail, to be honest with you. But again, Graham will be able to just make adjustments using that bracket right there. If he wants it narrowed like a little bit further down and I don't know, parallel with the actual tail, and you can just decide on what he wants at that point. So that one is complete. Step number 24 would be to do everything in reverse and go ahead and put everything back on the bike and seal this guy up. Let's go ahead and do that. Look at the way it looks now. It looks so much better without that massive big tail being there. Yes, it was not the OEM tail because that's even longer, but this one is so much better than the one that he previously had also. Let's take a quick 360 look around. That looks nice. License plate is visible from behind. You might be asking, well, there's no rear signals. How's it gonna signal? How are people gonna know if it's signaling? So this is the OEM rear brake light. The rear tail is gonna be changed and I'm gonna be adding signals. That's for another video. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Smash it, guys. Smash it. Thanks for watching. Until the next one.